Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sonia and I would love it if you could subscribe, and if you're not already an existing subscriber, welcome back. So for today's video I'm going to be filming my palette roulette project. So this is where I bring in 4 eyeshadow palettes and 1 face palette to use over the month, and I want to use the eyeshadow palettes 3 times and the face palette 5 times. In this update I can roll 2 of the eyeshadow palettes out and the face palette, and I've noticed over the last few months that I have only been using 2 of the eyeshadow palettes and then keeping 2 in, and I was thinking, do I just change it down to bring 3 in? But no, I'm just going to keep with 4, and then maybe in the future I will change it down to 3, maybe even 2, but for now I'm going to keep it as it is at 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the eyeshadow palettes. I'm just going to talk about all of them even if I haven't used them, and then I'll talk about the face palette, and then at the end I'll roll in 2 new eyeshadow palettes and a new face palette. It is so hot here that I'm just going to apologise now for the lighting. I've had to close my curtains because my camera was overheating, and I was also overheating because I'm sat in front of a big window and it's hot. It's very, very, very hot. So apologies if the lighting is bad. But let's get into it. Let me start with the eyeshadow palettes. So the first one I used was the BH Cosmetics Weekend Vibes Mimosa palette. And I have got my 3 uses on this one now. So this is what it looks like. And I absolutely loved this palette, which I'm not surprised because these are very Sonia colours, but I loved the formula of this. I loved the shimmers. I thought the mattes were nice, but I'm definitely more of a shimmer girl. Like, I usually just put a shimmer all over my lid and I'm done. Sometimes I'll put a matte in the crease, but this was beautiful. This is going absolutely nowhere in my collection. I really, really, really enjoyed this one. Let me see which ones I used. So I used Pop, which was this one. This was beautiful. I used Bubbly, which is this one here. Oh, I think I also used Fizzy, which is this one here. So in this one I just think I used the shimmers. I didn't use any of the mattes. Oh no, I lie. I used this one here, which is Guava. But yeah, really did enjoy this one, and this is, like I said, going nowhere in my collection. I want to feel the way that I feel about this palette, about all of the palettes in my collection. Like, if I reach for this, I know I would be able to create multiple looks with it, and I want to feel like that about all of the palettes in my collection, which is why I'm doing this project. The next one I have is the ABH Modern Renaissance palette, and this is what this one looks like. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't love this one, but I don't know if it's just because I brought it out now rather than in like autumn and winter. I feel like this palette would be much better then. But I think the other thing with this as well is it doesn't have many shimmers. Like, it's only got 2 that I can see in here. The rest of them are mattes, or what I would class as shimmers anyway. Maybe 3. But yeah, I'm not wowed by it, but I want to keep it to try it in autumn and winter, and if I don't still like it, then I might just see if my sister wants this or anyone in my family, because there is no point me keeping something I don't enjoy. I used Primavera, I don't know if I'm saying that correct. I used that one. I used Vermeer, which is this one. I don't know if this is focusing, apologies if it isn't. And I used Bon Fresco, which is this one. I also used Tempera, which is this one here. Like I said, I'll bring this out again in autumn and winter, and if I don't love it, I will then pass it on. Even though I know that is a favourite for a lot of people, and it was definitely a viral product. I don't know. For me, I don't love it. I don't. Okay, the next one I have is the Colourpop California Love palette. So this is actually the one I haven't used yet, and this is what it looks like. So I won't be using the press glitters in this because I just get nervous about putting them near my eye, but I will use the rest of them in this palette. And I mean, this is a neutral palette, so I can't go wrong with it. I've just been using the other neutrals in the other palettes, so this is why this one hasn't got any use, but it definitely will by next update, hopefully. And then I have the I Heart Revolution Cotton Candy palette. And I do have one use on this one. It's actually what I am wearing today. And the shade I am wearing is Fairy Floss, which is this one. And this is a really nice palette. It's affordable. I think the formula is really, really nice. And there's a lot of shimmers in this palette, which is a big, big, big tick from me because, as I've just said, I love shimmers in a palette. And there is so many different shades in here. I definitely want to try and use this Pretty in Pastel one in my 3 uses because that just looks so pretty. But I have one use on this. I've only got 2 more to go on that. And then for my face palette, I have the XX Revolution Indulgence palette. And this is what it looks like. So I'm going to be honest, I just focused on these 2 for my 5 uses, but I have expanded the pan on both of these and I think they're so nice. I do need to keep using this though because it is a cream palette and I don't want it to go off. I think it's these 2 shades I don't like, so I won't be using those, but I will use the rest. I may even put maybe one of these into a project in the future to try and finish it. That would be amazing if I could finish a blush. But yes, I did get my 5 uses on this. I still really like this palette, so it'll be staying in my collection. So now we're at the point where I'm going to roll in 2 new eyeshadow palettes and a new face palette. So let's start with the eyeshadow palettes. So I'm just getting Wheel of Names up because I have all of my eyeshadows in there. And the first one I will be using hopefully that's focusing, the Charlotte Tilbury Copper Charge. Ooh, that is another neutral palette. Okay. And then the second one I will be using is Tarte Juicy. Ooh, that's a new one, or newer in my collection. I am so excited to use that one. That is full of pinks, which I love. Okay, so that is the 2 eyeshadow palettes. Now let's roll for the face palette and then I'll go and get the palettes to show you. I didn't actually tell you how many eyeshadow palettes I did have. Oh, I didn't save it. I know which ones I know which ones I'm going to be getting. So I have 37 eligible face palettes. So the one I will be using is the True and Luscious Lucky Glow. Okay, that is a big palette that I have not used. So let's see what I think to that. So what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go and get those palettes and I will be right back to show you what they look like. Okay, so I'm back and I have the palettes. So I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palettes. And the first one I rolled was the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette in Copper Charge. This is the only Charlotte Tilbury quad I do have. I do have the Charlotte Darling palette, which is one of my favourite palettes in my collection. I love that one. So this is what this one looks like. And I have used this one before. This one is okay. Like, it's not my favourite. I do want to maybe try the Pillow Talk one at some point in the future. I will get my 3 uses on that one. I then have my Tarte Tartelette Juicy palette. So this is still in the packaging. I haven't used it yet. This is what the packaging looks like. And this is what it looks like inside. Oh my god, I cannot wait to use this. I really cannot. Such pretty shades. Oh, and it even smells nice. I've never tried a palette from Tarte before, so I'm really looking forward to trying this this formula. And I thought this is most probably the best one for me to get, just because I will get a lot of use out of this one. And then for the face palette, I have the Lucky Glow by True and Luscious. I think it is. It's the Bronze and Highlight Palette Volume 2. So this is what it looks like. I don't actually know where I got this. It may have been in a box. I'm not quite sure where I got this, but this is what it looks like. So I don't think a lot of these will work for me, but I do think this one will as a bronzer, this as a blush, maybe this one as a highlight, but I don't think I will use this one, or this one, because I'm not really a gold highlight person. I'll give it a go and see. I actually haven't used this. I've swatched it, but I've never used it, so we'll see what I think to that. So that is my update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and it means the absolute world to me if you could subscribe if you don't already. And if you've tried any of these palettes, please let me know below what you think to them. And until my next video, thank you for coming by. See you later.